It's 6:30 in the morning and I'm gonna go around and show you what 24 hours in New York City looks like. So first things first, we are gonna go get some coffee.
No matter where you're staying, there's so many great coffee spots all over New York City. A few of my favorite spots are Allegro Coffee, Think Coffee, and Variety Coffee, just to name a few. My go-to order is a cappuccino with almond milk. Running around New York City all day will be very tiring, so I definitely recommend having some caffeine to jumpstart your day.
Just got my coffee and now it's time to go get some bagels.
New York City is known for having the best bagels in the world. For generations, the idea was that New York City water makes the bagels the very best, but it comes down to a science when creating the perfect bagel, and New Yorkers take it very seriously. If you're in New York City, definitely try a bagel. You won't regret it. Don't forget to grab a few napkins on your way out.
Normally, I like to take my breakfast and have it in Madison Square Park. The best thing about having breakfast in Madison Square Park is that it's so peaceful and quiet here in the morning, which is really nice. This is messy. You would never expect to be in the middle of New York City and have it be so quiet. Today I got a rainbow bagel from Murray's Bagels for Pride Week. Murray's Bagels is one of the best bagel spots in New York City. It is my personal favorite.
My tip when exploring New York City is to always be early and go to places when they open up. There's no lines and it's really quiet, which is a nice contrast to how busy the city gets during the day. After you enjoyed breakfast, jump on the subway to Grand Central Station.
Now we're gonna go check out Grand Central Station. I have never been here before and I'm super excited, so let's go.
Grand Central Station opened in February of 1913, which makes it 106 years old. The terminal is one of the most visited places in the world, with about 22 million visitors per year. The four-faced brass clock on top of the information booth is one of the most recognizable icons of Grand Central. Though legend has it, the three faces are made of opal, and Sotheby's and Christie's have estimated the value to be between $10 and $20 million. The grand staircases in Grand Central were modeled after those of the Paris Opera House. The building architects wanted to bring a Parisian flair to New York City. The ceiling has a lot of secrets, and a little dark patch you can still see, purposely left unwashed and formed by over 100 years of dirt and cigarette smoke. The ceiling view is of the Mediterranean winter sky, and it's painted with 2,500 stars and zodiac constellations.
Grand Central Station is way more beautiful than I thought it was going to be. The ceiling is so gorgeous, it just makes you stop and stare at all of the details. If you have 24 hours in New York City, I definitely recommend coming to Grand Central Station and checking it out.
Once you're done checking out Grand Central, hop on the subway to 59th Street.
Next, I'd recommend renting a city bike and exploring Central Park. All you have to do is download the City Bike app, click your location, and then click Unlock a Bike.
Then it will send you a code that you can enter to unlock the bike. Central Park is just about 843 acres, which makes the park larger than Vatican City and almost 6 times larger than Monaco. In a city covered in concrete, Central Park is the perfect summertime escape. I like biking through the park because you can stop when you want to stop and check out some of the most iconic locations in Central Park.
Central Park is huge, and the only way to properly see it is on a bike. I definitely recommend renting a city bike and exploring through Central Park. That was so much fun. Up next, the Met. Let's go.
The Met is the largest art museum in the Western Hemisphere, and I cannot overstate how big it actually is. By going to the Met, you can travel the entire world without even leaving the city. The first exhibit we saw was a patio from a castle in Spain, adorned with beautiful sculptures. It was honestly crazy to see how they made each room feel like you're stepping back into that time period in history. Next, we stumbled upon some European paintings that dated back to 1250. I think taking a few minutes to sit and appreciate the art is necessary, so definitely give yourself enough time to explore the Met. After that, we explored the arts of Africa, Oceania, and the Americas. Then we walked through the medieval art exhibit, which was filled with metal gates and stained glass windows. After exploring the medieval exhibit, we found ourselves in the American wing. This vast, light-filled space was my favorite part of the Met this afternoon and is home to a collection of American monumental sculptures, architectural elements, and stained glass. They even had an entire house in this wing, which you could walk into and explore different period rooms throughout American history. Once we finished walking through the house in the American wing, we found ourselves at the most recently added and most popular exhibit, Camp. This exhibit is home to around 250 objects, but the largest section of the exhibit was devoted to how these elements, such as irony, humor, parody, and exaggeration, are expressed in fashion. This was the theme for this year's Met Gala, which took place on May 6th. The exhibit will be open until September 8th, and I definitely recommend checking it out before it's gone. Once we finished exploring the Met, I was super hungry, so we went to the best pizza place in all of New York City, Joe's Pizza. It's no secret that Joe's is home to the best pizza in New York City, and it's been endorsed by some of the top actors and media outlets in the world. New York Magazine and GQ are amongst many who have given Joe's the stamp of approval. Pizza is one of my all-time favorite foods, and Joe's is without a doubt the best I've ever had. If you're in New York City for 24 hours, Joe's Pizza is a must. I got the classic mozzarella slice, which cost $4. After having lunch at Joe's, head over to the New York Public Library. The library is located on 42nd Street, right next to Bryant Park. As soon as you walk in, you see grand marble staircases leading you up to the main level. On this level, you will find the Rose Main Reading Room and Public Catalog Room. It's safe to say that most New Yorkers have probably never set foot in this room, but I was blown away by the beauty and detailing of the mural painted on the ceilings. It honestly looks like something from the Vatican in Rome, and I was not expecting that in the slightest. This definitely is a must-see in New York City, but make sure to be super quiet because classic library rules still apply. After all of the running around and exploring in the city, I took the subway back home to change and relax before heading back out. Then, around 3 o'clock, we took the subway to Coney Island. You're gonna want to give yourself lots of time to get to Coney Island because the subway takes a minimum 1 hour to get there. It was my first time there, and the amusement park had a very nostalgic feeling, almost like stepping back in time. That's because some of the rides are over 90 years old. I personally didn't go on any of the rides because some of them looked a little too sketchy for my liking. Instead, I played a few games in the amusement park. If the amusement park isn't for you, you can walk a few steps into the world-famous Coney Island Boardwalk. This was actually really nice to walk down. There's tons of shops and most importantly, ice cream. If you're hungry, there's tons of restaurants on the boardwalk, including Coney Island's famous Nathan's Hot Dogs. After spending the rest of the day at Coney Island, I'd recommend heading back to Manhattan on the subway in time for dinner. By this time, I was pretty exhausted, so I'd recommend ordering food delivery to wherever you're staying. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below your favorite thing to do in New York City, and don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one.